Hello, Mr. Randy Ducker, and welcome back for another video. And today I have two replays to show you in a Tier 7 American tank destroyer premium tank, the Super Hellcat. Now this is a tank destroyer which can be earned at the moment on the Dream Machine op, which has just come out. I think it's ongoing for about a month, where you've got a choice of earning 3 different tanks, one of which is the Super Hellcat. So I thought I'd get a replay out in this tank to show you what it can do, because if I'm honest with you, I love this tank. As you see, I have already marked it because I've played quite a few games in this tank and it's a lot of fun. It's basically very stealthy. I think I've got the camo down to about 200, around about 200 concealment. It's quick, it's mobile, it's got a very good top speed of 72 kilometers an hour, and you can get to that top speed very quickly. Combined with a fantastic rate of fire gun with really good DPM for a Tier 7 tank. It's got 240 alpha with a really nice reload, and you can rack up a lot of damage very quickly in this tank. And you've got the speed and mobility to get around the map and find that damage. It's a fantastic tank. I really enjoy this tank. So here on the first map here, we're trying to, we got to a position which is probably a position I was sort of playing the medium tanks from the start on this map, but it's working in this Super Hellcat, and I managed to pick up a few shots of damage. There's kind of quite a few targets to take out. We managed to take out the light tank, which is obviously big because that comes in helpful late game. If you get rid of the enemy light tanks, there's going to be less stuff to spot you. You're going to be able to outspot tanks, which you can do quite well in this tank, and it's just going to make life a lot easier. So to start this game, it's gone pretty well. We've eaten 1 shot of damage, but we've got 1,000 of our own and 2 kills, and we've already got rid of that light tank as well. And we've got fairly decent map control at the moment. We've got tanks down the left side in the town, we've got tanks on the right, our light tanks pushing up and extending the vision. Yeah, we've got quite a good position. There is an enemy medium tank sort of pushing in the middle, as you can see. I need to be sort of just be wary of that tank, just to make sure he doesn't just decide to full send round on us. Even though they should die for it, doesn't mean they're not going to. We're going to eat a lot of damage in return, potentially take us out. So we've got to be a bit careful of that situation. One thing with the Super Hellcat. I guess if it's a flaw, if you could, you could say, I mean, it's not really a massive flaw, but the reverse speed is pretty slow. So you do have to be wary of that when you are sort of poking around. It's not the quickest at reversing, but other than that, it's a phenomenal tank destroyer. And if you haven't already got it, it's definitely well worth picking up, in my opinion. Although there are 2 other tanks. I think it's one's there's a Tier 9 autoloader heavy tank and a Tier 8 mil autoloader, I believe. But now another Super Hellcat is pushing around. This was a little bit concerned about, because I can't stay in that position anymore, and it's forcing me to push out where I could potentially get shot from the enemy team here, and it's not ideal. But I couldn't stay where I was going to die, so I had no choice. I'm trying now to push back into this, tap myself into this corner so I can't get shot on the left. And if that Hellcat does push around on the right, I should have shots into them, while at least keep myself safe from the left, and just hopefully my friendly teams could help take them out. This game is fairly close. It's 8 versus 9. The problem I've got where I am right now is I'm not really having a big impact on the team at the moment. I'm trying to get shots into this left hand side. You see his heavy tank, but unfortunately they're not really poking, and I'm concerned that I'm not really having a big enough impact on the battle as it stands. So I'm thinking about trying to get out of this location. So I'm just checking to see if I could get any shots. It does look like it's just that heavy tank which I had hiding around there. I'm just going to leave that tank there and try and help deal with this tank in the middle if I can, because we have now lost the town location. I don't want to lose the town and have to have this tank in the middle, because it's a little bit awkward. We've got a 1-shot medium tank with us. I need to try and get a shot into this tank, which we put them onto a 1-shot. We can now eat 1 shell off of this tank and kill the tank. We tried the pen shot, not have to, but we're going to beat the reload, because Chimera does have quite a long reload, and we know we've got the kill now. So it's not ideal having to eat that shot, but I felt like it was necessary to get rid of the tank from that dangerous situation for us, because it It was just in an awkward situation because that meant we couldn't quite deal with the tanks through the town without tanks staying there, lighting everyone and potentially getting side shots in. Now, at this situation, we've lost the town. I'm caught in a crossfire here. Thankfully, my friendly Inferno takes out that CS-44, which allows me to try now and get to the hill, so I can, either get shots onto the tanks coming from the town, or get shots onto tanks, which potentially push our light tank on the right-hand side. We've got two different options there, but at this point in time, it's a 6 versus 5, and we know there's, we think there's about 2-3 tanks coming in the town, and we want to try and set ourselves up to try and get some punish and help our friendly teammates if we do. Spot an enemy TD, which is going to be hard pen for us from the frontally, but also this medium tank exposes itself, and we managed to get 2 shots in, putting the tank onto a 1-shot. We're not quite able to pick up the kill now, but now I've spotted in the corner of my eye on the mini-map, our friendly light tank's in trouble. It's getting pushed by a full health light tank, and I want to help our friend out here, because if our friendly light tank dies, the light tank's going to come straight round the back, and I do not have the hit points to deal with that situation. So I need to try and kill the light tank now while I've got the opportunity in. Thankfully, we get a track shot in, which slows him down in place. It's allowing our AMX to try and circle this tank. We again get a second one in, and our AMX Chaffee is able to pick up the kill and deal with that light tank, which is great, because now we don't have to worry about that tank coming from behind us, and we just have to worry about the tanks in front of us. We've got the enemy TD, which is in the town. Now, I know our friendly tanks are going to struggle to deal with that tank destroyer if they're facing it frontally. It's got good DPM, good alpha, and it could do a lot of damage to our team. So I see that as a threat at the moment. Like I say, all our tanks are front onto the tanks. They're not going to be able to deal with it. So I'm going to try, well, not be able to deal with it easily, I should say. So I'm going to try and push and get a second angle in the tank. Obviously, it doesn't have a turret. If I get behind it, I'm going to be able to take out the, the TD, which would free up our friendly teammates from that engagement. So I'm looking for the shots here. I'm struggling just a little bit while I go up this ridge to get a perfect shot in. But we do get one in, but we're now getting targeted, and I decided I'm going to actually get out of there. I could have stayed to take that shot and get the confirmed kill, but I thought it was too risky because I'm on a 1-shot and this game is still very close. So I'm just going to reposition myself to take out the TD. I should be able to get behind him here and pick up the kill. We get one in, set them on fire, and we do pick up the kill, leaving us into a 4 versus 2. And yeah, we're now in a much stronger position. And it looks like the enemy legion, it's unfortunately going to get, thankfully it's going to get taken out by our friendly teammates. And there's just one in the medium tank, which we left on a 1-shot earlier. We pushed through. Unfortunately, we sort of shoot a shot on the move and I missed that. Now, I didn't quite realise what this tank was. I thought I was going to out-reload them. That was silly. That was an easy kill for me there. I didn't need to sacrifice myself, but I wanted to try and get the extra kill. I thought I was going to beat the reload, and I made a mistake. But we do go on to win this game anyway, so I'm just going to skip ahead to the scoreboard and we can see how we got on. Okay, so that brings an end to replay number 1. We got 4 kills, just shy of 4,000 damage. 4 kills. It is only the first class, but it's still over 2k base XP, which is normally enough for an ace tanker. But we do have one more replay to come, so stay with us and I will see you in a bit. Okay, so welcome back to the final replay of the video here on Ellenberg. As always, we save the best to last. We are in a tier 8 lobby. There is one enemy fun police, but there is no enemy light tanks. So from the start, that means I'm going to try and get across as quickly as I possibly can. There's no enemy light tanks, so I can potentially spot for my team here. And I want to, get, pick up some assistance potentially, but also I want to get across as quickly as fast as I can to pick up any early intel, try and spot the enemy team in the open, and find out how many tanks are coming this side, which should give us as much information as we need to know whether we need to turn around or what we need to do, retreat, etc. So we push around, we spot an enemy Craft Panther. Bit risky taking this shot here because we do get lit for it. Probably should have pulled back safer where I am now, so I'm behind the building. But we wanted to just try and take out this tank as fast as we possibly can. And this is where you can see how devastating the DPM can be against like tier 7 tanks. we take out that Craft Panther with a little bit of help from our team, you know, in absolutely no time at all. We then get us a little bit of assistance by picking up that killing that Emil. So a great start to the game. Now the enemy heavy tank is now pushing across. He's going to keep us permo spotted when we're on the top of that hill. So we're going to try and push back and see if we can get an angle for shots. This is where you can sort of see how fantastic the camo is on this tank. We shot at like 240 meters. I wasn't even behind a bush. Admittedly, this heavy tank doesn't have the best view range, but yeah, that's filthy there. You know, we're firing and we're still not getting lit at like 245 meters there. We squeeze one in for the lower plate. Trying to kill this tank as fast as I possibly can, because there's not a lot of other tanks this side, which means the enemy team are either camping on their base, or they are pushing down the opposite side, where we don't have a lot of vision at the moment. And I want to try and kill this tank as fast as I can, so I can go over and be the eyes for our team and find out if they are pushing our base. And we do manage to take out this heavy tank. Now it's time to full send across. Also, we've got the good mobility here. We can get to 70 kilometers an hour coming down this hill, and we need to get there as fast as we can, because we don't want the enemy team to push up underneath our ridge, because if they push up underneath our ridge, it's going to keep all our tanks on the hill proxy spotted, which is going to mean it's awkward for them to get shot. They're going to be constantly lit when they look for shots, and it's going to make our life harder, harder for our team, as well as the fact that, you know, they're going to push over and kill our fun police, and we could probably do with our fun police to help us here. So we're pushed up to a position to try and spot them. Hopefully we can spot tanks crossing in the field. Got to pull back so I don't get killed by this enemy tank there. He can't push over on top of us. Well, he can, but if he does, you know, he'll be sending himself to the garage, because we've got so many tanks on the hill. But it will, you know, should in theory get taken out pretty quickly. So I'm going to try and keep the vision here, using these bushes to try and keep myself, you know, undetected. We spot this enemy tiger. We're shooting through the bush, but the other enemy you know, tank to our left is not poking high enough to spot us. So we're able to just free farm this tiger. The poor tiger in the open here. Fantastic, you know, for me, because we've got a tank which we can just, you know, pick up some damage. Unfortunately, we do lose a spot there. I do have to be careful when I poke for spots here, because obviously there is going to be tanks, you know, camping at the, you know, sort of the back of the field, and obviously if I poke too high and I get detected, then they will obviously, you know, have shots. So I'm trying to, you know, poke to minimal distance, and when I do get detected, try and keep myself moving, so that, you know, it's not an easy shot. I don't want to say stationary, present myself an easy shot. We're able to take out that tiger, and you know, we've had a decent game here. They're already up to like 3,800 damage. There's still 8 tanks remaining, and hopefully we can try and pick up a few more damage, or maybe a bit of assistance. We spot this SU crossing, which is fantastic, because hopefully now there's so many tanks on the hill, but they should get punished, and they do. You know, it gets absolutely destroyed, and we pick up over, you know, all his health basically on the assistance damage there, because obviously there's no light tanks, and we're the tank spotting for all our tanks on the hill. And you know, we're getting the rewards for, you know, for that risk with the assistance damage there. I don't want to poke a shot to get onto that tank on the right. There's no need to getting shot by our team anyway, and I don't want to eat shots to do that. Now again, you know, this is filthy. I'm shooting for, you know, I am shooting for a bush at this point, but it's at 220 meters. I'm not getting detected, and I'm able to just, you know, free farm this T20 there, putting this on to 4,500 damage and 2,000 assistance. We spot another SU, and yeah, we've had a, you know, really decent game now, and there's only 4 tanks remaining. We managed to get close to 5,000 damage, you know, 2,000 odd assistance, and it's time now to push and see if we can get the rest of the tanks. We're trying to find out. I think the enemy T29 hasn't been detected yet, so he's either still at the base or at the back of this field. He is at the back of this field. We spot them. We realise quite quickly that it's hold down, so there's no point staying there. We're not going to get penned the turret on a hold down T29, but we're just going to keep pushing, and he's, you know, getting taken out by our friendly team. We're picking up all the assistance. We've managed to keep all our hit points here, so I can just push up and try and get some shots into this tank, and yeah, hopefully pick up some more assistance on the way, because we're the only tank, you know, in range to spot this tank at the moment. We get one shot in, he gets slapped by our fun police. We expect to eat one there, but we don't need to, because the T32 takes him out. pick up all that assistance, some more damage. There's only one tank, and again, this is where the fantastic mobility of the tank is really good in these scenarios, because there's one enemy tank. It's a fun police. You know, because of the buff to the artillery, it's going to have quite a few hit points unless it's got blind fired by our friendly fun police. And we're going to be able to get there quickly because we can just travel at 70 kilometers an hour, which means we're going to beat our friendly team to the damage here. Get there well before they're going to get there, and hopefully top off what's already been a good game with some more damage. So we do spot the fun police. He's not paying attention. We can get probably at least 2 shots in before he's turned around. We do that. We get 2 shots in. Now he's aiming at us. We don't really want to get shotgunned, but he snapped a shot, and now we should be able to potentially pick up this kill. Picking up our 4th kill and putting us close to just shy of 6,000 damage, and that is an end to the replay. So let's just get to the scoreboard and see how we did. So we managed to pick up 4 kills, just shy of 6,000 damage, 2,800 base XP, and I think it's around 3,000, 3,400 in assistance in the end. We do get the ace tanker and the high caliber, and yeah, that is a super Hellcat. So this is available to be earned at the moment. Obviously, there's 2 other tanks which you can choose from as well. The super Hellcat for me, if you don't already own the tank, it is, it's a really nice tank. But yeah, that is it for the replay. So thank you for watching, and happy tanking.
Hadouken!